Let me switch gears and ask you about Gina Haspel. Facing the vote, the Senate Intelligence Committee expected to vote on President Trump's pick for the CIA director, Gina Haspel, later today. She's been under fire for her take on enhanced interrogation practices, including waterboarding used on terrorist suspects. I want to get your take on this because last week I spoke exclusively with former Vice President Dick Cheney. Listen to his take, General.
I've been very vocal about it. I believed in it. I was heavily involved in getting it set up and getting the opinion out of the Justice Department on how far we could go. I'm not one of those people who calls it torture. An awful lot of people do. But it wasn't. It was set up in a way that what we did was, in fact, consistent with our fundamental statutes and agreements that were in place. And it worked. I think what we did helped ultimately produce the intelligence we needed to be able to get bin Laden. And so I've supported it wholeheartedly.
General, your reaction. He said, let's not forget, 3,000 people died on September 11th. The person that we waterboarded the most was the mastermind behind September 11th. And by the way, it worked, and I would do it again. Your reaction.
Well, it's unfortunate that Gina Haspel has to go through this. They're discussing something that happened 17 years ago, and here we have all these problems on the world stage with North Korea, with China, with Russia, with Iran, with radical Islam, etc. And she's disproportionately answering questions about a policy that she did not develop, that was lawful at the time, and she did have a hand in executing it, as did many in the Central Intelligence Agency. After all, the CIA was asked to do something that they have never done in their history, and that is be in charge of an interrogation and detention program. That's not what they do. The administration asked them to do that and presented a lawful way for them to do that. And here she is still trying to answer to that when the law has been changed and she's going to execute the new law, to be sure. And the other thing that's ironic about this is Mr. John Brennan, who was in the policy business of the Central Intelligence Agency at the time when enhanced interrogation techniques were being used, he went through his nomination smoothly, overwhelmingly supported by Democrats, and not pushed on this thing consequentially at all. It doesn't seem right what's happening to Haspel, and she's the most qualified person that's ever been nominated to have this position. I've talked to her 3 times in the last few weeks, and I've got nothing but respect and admiration for her.
Yeah, you make a really good point that John Brennan was in a policy position at the time, and yet we haven't heard a peep from him in terms of the waterboarding and these programs at all. But he is talking a lot about Donald Trump and trashing him all over town and basically saying that the FBI and the bias at the top of the FBI was warranted. I mean, it's pretty outrageous, actually. You bring up a good point with John Brennan.
Yeah, I mean, really, we just can't have this thing both ways. And it's unfortunate that I think members of the Senate took this issue and decided to politicize it the way they have at the expense of a highly qualified CIA analyst who spent her entire adult life as a covert agent and has earned the incredible respect of that agency. There's not a single person that's been associated with that agency that is not only just supporting her, but actually are over the top in their support for her.
Right. You're right. They're trying to make it a campaign issue. Also a campaign issue will be the spending. Are you comfortable in terms of where we are after that omnibus bill? I know that you had big concerns around the military and whether or not we were supporting our military properly.
Well, yes, the omnibus bill does fund the military at the levels it should be at. I call it's 2 years of funding. This is the first one. And I call it a down payment. And we've got to see this through for a number of years. There's people in the Congress who are going to say, OK, we've taken care of the military now, and let's move on to something else. That's the wrong answer. We dug ourselves into this hole over a period of almost 10 years, and we're not going to get out of it in 1 or 2 years. We have got to sustain that level of funding.
And meanwhile, the president's talking about the situation in Syria. Do you think he's dialing back on that idea that he would like to get out of Syria as soon as possible? Dick Cheney agreed with you when I spoke with him in terms of don't leave. It creates a vacuum the way that it did when we left Iraq. And that's when ISIS became stronger.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope that's the case. I mean, he's got a new national security advisor. He's got a new secretary of state. They're both formidable. They're absolutely highly qualified people. They'll have an impact on the president here. You got to remember, Syria is Iran's strategic anchor point for domination of the Middle East. And they're starting with Israel. They're conducting a military buildup, and that's what that strike was about last week when the Israelis pounded them. We have major issues there and national interests, and certainly protecting our allies in the region as well.
General, it's always a pleasure to see you. Thanks so much.
Good talking to you, Maria.
And to you, General Jack Keane, joining us.